Good afternoon and welcome to the first VLRP lesson for the fourth term. I welcome all the grade 9 learners and their teachers and everyone who joined this lesson today. Good afternoon. Today we are going to look at curriculum vitae, how to write a concise yet short curriculum vitae. Remember, this is a longer transactional text out of 20 marks, and you know the length is 140 to 160 words. So you must keep to that length so that you don't get penalized for using more words than the policy required. Right. Now, what is a CV? The two letters stand for curriculum vitae. But what is curriculum vitae? You can see that this is not an English word. Then, curriculum vitae is a Latin word, of course. It's not an English word, it's a Latin word. So let us break it down into two independent words, because it's a phrase on in itself. The first word, curriculum, means course, a path, a way. And vitae means life. Remember, vitality has to do with life, being alive, being lively. So vitae means life. So in full, we can say a curriculum vitae means your course of life. And this is your course of life, meaning when you write a curriculum vitae, you are actually writing your course of life. But you are not concerned about this. What you are concerned about is whether the structure or the format and the content is appropriate to the question. One of the questions might be, you applied for a job. Now write a curriculum vitae that will accompany your application. This is what you have to do. As curriculum vitae is a good opportunity. When you have this with your application letter, it gives you an advantage because it is going to sell you. That's where you sell yourself. Remember, you are not there when you apply. You apply with the hope that you will get invited to the interviews, but you won't be there when they start shortlisting people. So your CV will be your representative there. It will represent yourself there. And most importantly, sell you to the potential employer. You make an impression on others about yourself. When you write a CV, you are actually telling people about yourself. You are imprinting yourself to those people. And what are the rules for writing a CV? If you want to get 20 out of 20, what are the do's and the don'ts? Remember here, because it's a creative writing, we want you to get 20 out of 20 with the correct format, the correct language usage, and the correct or relevant content. There are no set rules for writing your curriculum vitae. You can decide what to include and what not to include. But remember, here a potential employer, we might say, the person who's going to mark you, your teacher, will want to know the following from you to see that you understood what are the requirements for a good curriculum vitae. Your full name, your date of birth or age. I know that most of you don't have ID numbers, but there are ID numbers on your birth certificates. But here for you, it is important to note that you need to write your date of birth. You might not be able to recall your ID by head. So date of birth will be much simpler than the identification number. Your full address, two addresses, the full address and a postal code. You need your address and your postal code. Remember, it should be your postal address and not your physical address, because they might need to communicate with you through the post. Yes, we still have posts. We still write letters. Therefore, include your postal address, including the correct postal code. Your health status. Do you smoke? Do you drink? Your contact cell phone numbers, because most of us now have cell phone numbers. We rather use a cell phone numbers than the telephone numbers. And your contact email. And this is the first part of your CV. This is your biographical information. Therefore, please do not, you see, there are only 8 of them, even 6. I did not want to include a lot because I want you to remember the most important ones that must go into your CV. Continue the rules for writing a CV. We will also want you to mention your education and qualifications. Here, we want to know which school did you attend, which university or college did you attend, and any other relevant qualifications that you like to include so that you can be able to make an impression. Your history of employment, where were you employed? Please start, even with the education and qualification, start with the recent ones. If you have attended one or more schools, say you have attended, you went to 2 schools, start with the last one that you attended. Even with employment history, start with the current or the last employer before before you were retrenched, because now you are applying for a new job. So you must start with the last employment history. You see, where you worked before or are currently working. So you need to start with the what? Where you are currently working. Then you can go to where you worked before. The same goes with your education and qualification. You start with what you are currently studying, then what you studied before this one. I hope you understand. I already said it must be short. Remember, you are not writing them an essay. It must be short. One side of a page is better than is a better length than 2 sides. But bear in mind the number of words, the limit, 140 to 160 for the grade 9s, longer transactional text. So please be mindful of the number of words that you have to use. Do not write in full sentences. Use phrases, longer phrases, but not full sentences. I studied at the University of Orange Free State. No. Studied at the Free State University or University of the Free State. Full stop. List what you have done or achieved, which you think will be useful or will enhance your opportunity to get employment. Remember what I said? You sell yourself. Ensure that there are no gaps in your CV. Remember, first impressions last. With those words, I thank you very much for listening to this or watching this lesson presentation. I hope that now this lesson had honed your skills on how to write a CV that will give you 20 out of 20 marks, and later on that will show you that you nail that employment you have been looking for, the job that you have been looking for. Until we meet again next time, adios, goodbye.